Have you ever had one of those light bulb moments, a brilliant idea, but then had absolutely no idea what to do next? Yeah, you're not alone. Today, we are cracking the code. We're looking at the formula that can turn a simple spark of genius into a massive success. So, what's the secret ingredient? Let's get into it.
I mean, we've all seen it, right? A product comes out, it looks amazing, a total game changer, and then poof, it's gone. It just never catches on, and you're left scratching your head wondering what on earth went wrong.
But then, on the flip side, you get something like this. At first glance, it's just a desk lamp, right? But this is the Dyson Light Cycle, and it's a perfect case study of an idea that didn't just work.
It absolutely smashed it. So what's the secret sauce? What did Dyson figure out that so many others seem to miss? That's exactly what we're going to break down right now.
Okay, first things first, let's get on the same page. Innovation isn't always about inventing something totally new out of thin air. More often than not, it's about taking something that's already out there and making it way, way better, and then actually getting it to people in a way that genuinely makes their lives a little easier.
So how do you actually pull that off? Well, it turns out there's kind of a formula, a recipe if you will, a set of key ingredients that can really decide whether an idea is going to fly or just flop.
And here it is, the Innovation Success Checklist. For a product to really win, it's about so much more than just the idea itself. You have to nail the timing, use the right tech, understand the culture, navigate all the legal stuff, and have a killer marketing plan. You get one of these wrong, and the whole thing can just fall apart.
Okay, let's put this formula to the test with our smart lamp. What exactly makes the Dyson Light Cycle so much more than just a fancy light bulb?
This right here is the absolute core of its genius. The light cycle doesn't just give you light, it gives you the right kind of light. It actually mimics the sun's natural light cycle throughout the day to sync up with your body's own internal clock. Pretty cool, huh?
And that one feature creates real, tangible benefits for you, the user. Less eye strain, you feel better, you're more productive. This is so key. Dyson saw this cultural shift towards wellness, and they basically predicted a need we didn't even know we had. They solved a problem before we really started complaining about it, and in doing so, created a whole new market.
Now let's peek under the hood at the tech. Dyson used something called heat pipe technology. This is the same kind of stuff they use to cool satellites in space, to stop the lamp's LEDs from getting too hot. Seems a little bit extra for a desk lamp, doesn't it? Well, here's why it's a huge deal.
Because those LEDs stay perfectly cool, they don't burn out or fade over time. This lamp is engineered to give you the same quality of light for 60 years. 60! That is not just a feature, that's a massive selling point, a huge advantage over competitors, and it's all made possible by using existing tech in a totally new way.
You know, this whole thing really highlights two major forces in the world of innovation. On one side, you've got technology push. That's when some new tech comes along and makes brand new products possible. On the other side, you've got market push. That's when we, the consumers, are practically begging for a solution to a problem. The real magic happens when you get a mix of both.
A perfect example of technology push is GPS. It started out as military technology. Nobody in the 90s was asking for a robot voice in their car to tell them where to go, but once that tech was released to the public, it just sparked this explosion of innovation, creating products we literally use every single day now.
And this brings us right back to one of the most critical factors on our checklist. You can have the best technology in the world and a brilliant idea, but if you launch it at the wrong moment, if people just aren't ready for it, it's probably going to fail. Timing, seriously, can be everything. Okay, so you've got the idea, you've nailed the tech, and your timing is perfect. But you can't just unleash your product on the world. You've got to play by the rules. And thankfully, there are specific organizations out there that are kind of like your referees and your support crew, all rolled into one. Now, it's easy to look at these agencies as just a bunch of red tape and roadblocks. But a much better way to think of them is as your team in the corner. They're the experts who help make sure your product is safe, that your great idea is protected, and that you're actually ready to compete. First up, we've got Standards Australia. Think of them as the quality referee. They set the benchmarks for safety and performance for products here in Australia. Getting their tick of approval is a huge sign of trust for your customers. It tells them, hey, this thing is legit and it's safe. Next, there's IP Australia. This is your vault. They're the ones who help you protect your idea with things like patents and trademarks, which stops other people from just stealing all your hard work. And believe me, your intellectual property is often your most valuable asset. And if you need proof of why that matters, just look at the Humble Powerboard.
It was invented by an Australian company called Cambrook back in 1971. A brilliant, simple innovation, but they didn't patent it. The result? They now have to compete in a gigantic market against hundreds of other companies that simply copied their idea. A tough lesson to learn.
So, we've covered the idea, the formula for success, and the rules of the game. But there is one final crucial piece to this puzzle, and it might just be the most important one of all: the entrepreneur.
See, a great idea is nothing without the right person driving it forward. Successful entrepreneurs all share a specific kind of mindset. They are passionate visionaries who get obsessed with solving a problem. They're calculated risk takers, and they just do not give up when things get tough. This is that spark that turns a simple idea into a reality. So let's put it all together one last time. The path to success starts with an innovative idea, then you test it against the formula for success, you play by the rules with a little help from the right agencies, and finally the whole thing is driven by that entrepreneurial spark.
And that's it. That's the formula, the playbook for turning an idea into a successful innovation. You now have the framework to look at any product and see why it worked, or maybe to start building one of your own.
So, the only question left is for you. Now that you have the playbook, what problem are you going to solve?